Welcome into Rogue Football. I'm your host, Jordan Lugo. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Right now, we have got our Patriots 2024 7-round mock draft. This mock draft train rolls on. The third overall pick the Patriots have. New direction at head coach, Gerard Mayo. Even though he is a Bill Belichick guy, even though he has been in New England a long time, I do think you see some things done differently with this group moving forward. The Patriots, they currently have $66 million in cap space, according to overthecap.com. Plenty of room to improve a roster that, quite frankly, needs a lot of improving. You need to bring back your left tackle, Trent Brown. You need to bring back Michael Onwenu. Cole Strange can probably start for you somewhere on the interior. So I think you definitely need a right tackle and another interior player. I'd probably bring back Hunter Henry, another reliable target for, I think, the young quarterback that you're eventually going to end up bringing in this offseason in New England. You need wide receiver talent in the worst way. You've got to upgrade that group. On defense, you've got a lot of quality pieces. You need to bring back or replace Kyle Duggar, Josh Uche in the same boat there. But I'd say you try to upgrade some of that offensive line and free agency, bring back some key pieces on the defensive side of the ball, and then you try to go BPA as much as you can in the draft. But there's going to be some spots where you obviously need to improve, and you need to improve the infrastructure around if you're bringing in a quarterback. And you've got to figure out what you're doing there at the quarterback position. That is the biggest thing for the New England Patriots in the 2024 offseason moving forward. I do love this center class in the draft, so maybe you wait on center until the draft. I think wide receiver, right tackle, those two positions you can also address in the draft. Want to get a bigger bodied cornerback as well. I think you've got some talented guys. You obviously brought in Christian Gonzalez, maybe safety too, depending on how free agency goes. But don't reach too much. Let the board fall to you. That's what good teams do in the NFL draft. We've currently got 7 picks in the 2024 draft here. I don't mind trying to trade down from 3, maybe still landing a quarterback of the present and the future, and acquiring more draft capital. There's some buzz that LSU quarterback Jaden Daniels could be QB2. I'll believe it when I see it, quite frankly. I think Drake May is quarterback 2 in this class. I think Caleb Williams is quarterback 1. I think those two guys are in a tier by themselves at the top of this quarterback class. I think Daniels is the next guy. I do think he is in a tier all by himself as a clear first-round talent, but I do not have him in the same class as a Drake May or Caleb Williams. So at 3 overall, we start with a trade down. I think that's ideal for the Patriots here. We do a trade with the Giants, and this is just an example of a trade package, what it could look like. You trade down to 6 overall, you get the 39th overall pick and a 4th round pick. So you add 2 picks that are fairly valuable, and you move down a few spots, hopefully still land your quarterback. Not a lot of quarterback needy teams in that range. Obviously, someone could trade up potentially. That's a risk you're running, but I don't think it's a risk that is going to necessarily derail your chances of getting a quarterback of the future. In this situation, at 6, Jaden Daniels is still there for you. This is a quarterback that he obviously needs to keep getting bigger, stronger, keep adding mass to his frame. He has done that throughout his college career. You've got to work on avoiding hits in a big way in space, right? This guy plays with reckless abandon, but what an electric runner, probably the best deep passer in this class, Jaden Daniels is. He's not afraid to throw over the middle. You've got the talent at the quarterback position there to potentially become, a top 10 quarterback in this league very quickly. Now you've got to go support the quarterback position, right, with the rest of this draft class. At 34 overall, center Zach Frazier, love his game. He's a top 20 prospect for me overall, a guy that's a fighter out there, great with the hand-to-hand combat, gets his hands high and inside, good proportional length, elite athleticism at the center position. He can execute any assignment that you would ask a center to in the NFL. Good in pass protection, good in the run game, technically sound, very good athlete, and he is an absolute warrior out there, a guy that will give you 110% every play. You're starting to fortify that offensive front to make sure that you can protect the investment you made in Jaden Daniels, right? Then at 39 overall, the first pick that you get back from the New York Giants, he needs playmakers too, right? Jaden Daniels does. Xavier Worthy, he's still on the board. He has the potential to be a legit game breaker. He's going to have 4.3 speed. He can throttle down. He can accelerate, create separation at an insane level. This is a guy that I think he could be a real deep threat, maybe one of the best deep threats in the NFL, and a potential offensive engine, because again, he can create separation at all three levels. And a guy that can do that and also have a little bit of juice with the ball in his hands. Hands have come into question by some draft media. I don't think that he has like the most elite hands in this class, but I don't really think they're an issue either. The back half of the 2022 season, he was playing with a broken hand. So yeah, you saw some drops, but overall he improved that. The hands in 2023 did not drop a ton of passes, even though he was a heavily featured target in that Texas offense. I think you signed me all the way up with the combination of Jaden Daniels and Xavier Worthy. I think that their skill sets complement each other very, very well. At 68 overall, I mentioned I'd like to get a big corner that can really run and has length. Kyrie Jackson is that for me out of Oregon. He did not play with Christian Gonzalez at Oregon, transferred from Alabama this year, but this is a guy who had a tremendous year. He's got length, he's got athleticism. I think he can mirror movements. I think he has long speed. He's very disruptive at the catch point, and a guy that brings it every single play, has that pesky type of energy at the cornerback position that I think really fits what the Patriots have had throughout their recent history, and a guy that is going to bring it against the run as well. A very good tackler, can play press man coverage for you. So I like Kyrie Jackson's fit with the Patriots. At 104, talked about continuing to try to fortify that offensive line. Offensive tackle Roger Rosengarten out of Washington is still on the board. He's a day 2 prospect for me. He doesn't do anything at an elite level. He's not an elite athlete. He doesn't have great length, but he passes all the thresholds, and he's a very technically refined kid, a hardworking guy. Did not have the best game of his career against Michigan in his final game, but a player throughout this 2023 campaign and even into 2022 was very consistent in pass protection. I think he's a guy that's going to help keep Jaden Daniels upright in the pocket and do that at a high level for a long time for you. At 108, edge Muhammad Kamara could be a pass rush specialist at a very high level for you. You know, if you lose Josh Uche to free agency, or even if you keep Josh Uche, you just want to keep adding juice to that rush. You've got to get after the quarterback. You know, Matthew Judon not getting any younger, so I think you keep adding to that edge rush. Add Mohamed Kamara, who, in my opinion, a high level comp for him would really be someone like a Melvin Ingram. He's a little bit squatty, a little bit compact build, not the tallest guy, but he has a pass rush toolbox. He can bend, he can generate speed to power. I think Muhammad Kamara could be a nice fit for the Patriots. At 136, another wide receiver, a guy that I think that Patriots fans would grow to love very quickly. Wide receiver Malik Washington out of Virginia. Might be limited to a slot role due to only being about 5'9", but this guy has the mass on his frame to hold up at the NFL level, and I think he's probably maybe the most underrated wide receiver prospect in this class. I think he has the potential to have a Tank Dell-like impact in his rookie year. He's not the same player as Tank Dell. He's more physical, but creates separation. He can catch the ball through contact. He is a tremendous route runner. He's tremendous with the ball in his hands. Continue adding to that arsenal for Jaden Daniels, and I think you'll be happy you did. At 182 overall, why shouldn't the Patriots have Dylan Laube out of New Hampshire? This is a guy who a lot of people have compared to Danny Woodhead. The Patriots always get these backs that are really good at catching the ball out of the backfield, at pass protection. Dylan Laube can do both of those things for you, and I think that he can come in and be maybe even Danny Woodhead plus. This is the type of guy that I think the Patriots would love to have. And then at 229, continuing to protect the investment, interior offensive line Mason McCormick. Not necessarily sure that he starts in year 1 for you based on what we've done here throughout the draft and potentially in free agency. But this is a guy who's going to bring toughness. He is going to be an ass kicker on the interior of that offensive line. That's exactly the type of player you want to come to New England and kind of be, whether it's a swing interior offensive lineman or a starter in year 1, a guy that brings the right attitude, the right energy to that offensive line room. But yeah, that's the Patriots draft for you. I think you have built an offensive core that you can move forward with long term with Jaden Daniels, with Xavier Worthy, with some of these offensive line prospects we've brought in, Zach Frazier, Roger Rosengarten, Mason McCormick. And you've also added to that defense with a really good press man corner, great length, great athleticism, the energy that you want to bring to the football field. And Dylan Laube, who just screams New England Patriots. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you're a Patriots fan, please let me know what you think in the comment section below. You can also hit me up on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Y'all have a good one.